What are you carrying into 2026 that no longer fits? See, most people step into the new year carrying expectations that they've already outgrown.
Welcome to Huddle for Success, real talk, real goals, and real results, where they help you make it happen in your life and business. Your hosts are Mark Bruce and Duane Gibbs, and they're here to help you level up your mindset, growth, and your success. Whether you're after personal growth or financial growth, they have you covered. Now let's huddle up.
Hey, everybody, I'm Duane Gibbs. Alongside me, my partner, as always, Mark Bruce, the Hall of Famer, where we come to you each and every Monday with a new episode. Also, join us every Wednesday and Friday as we do a huddle up session with a quick mindful thought. With that being said, today we're going to talk about what you need to do before stepping into 2026.
Good afternoon. Good to be with you. Good to say good afternoon. I don't know what time it is.
It's morning.
It is this morning, isn't it? It's been a
It's
long,
all right, Liz, and hey, this is why we are entering into a new year. It's
absolutely.
been it's been a impactful 2025, powerful. Our business is growing. We're helping people, and
It's
it's all
exciting.
good.
It's
Yeah,
exciting.
it is exciting.
It is exciting times. So, this is an exciting episode. I can't wait to talk about it more, where, it's especially relevant as we close the year, get ready for all the potential of a new year. It's kind of like spring training almost, only it's a little cold in Maryland these days.
Yeah, it was cold here this morning. I think it was somewhere around 28. So chilly here in North Carolina, but I love the cool weather. It's a little rest from the heat. So change is good.
Yes, you live in a beautiful part of North Carolina.
I do. God's country, as they say. Today is Carolina blue, this morning thus far. But as they say, live in North Carolina and the weather will change in 10 minutes from now. But we're not going to change. We're on topic and we're going to reveal and have a good topic today to talk about. And with that being said, as I mentioned, this time of the year, people have a way of revealing and they don't realize what they're carrying. They carry roles of their business and in the relationship, expectation goals, and things once that made sense can quickly start feeling a little heavy. The problem isn't growing, the problem is dragging old standards forward without asking if they still fit and are in alignment with the direction that you're going.
Yeah, we all have our paradigms, which are our habits and our mindset based on where we are right now. And the way to go forward is to change that paradigm. And it's something that you've got to get used to doing and do all the time. High performers a lot of times struggle most with giving up the things that are not doing well for them. Letting go feels like a loss. It kind of feels like it's a defeat. But the reality is, you're becoming more efficient when you get rid of the things that are holding you back, that are slowing you down. And it's not a defeat. It's as Tom Hopkins used to say, I never see failure as failure, but only the feedback I need to adjust my course.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that we want to do this time of year is we want to get rid of the things that are distracting us. Focus on the most important things that are going to propel you to what you want to do. You can't focus on 20 things. You can only focus on one or two, maybe three things at the most. And that's why long-term thinkers, they always simplify things. And it's not because, they quit on certain things. It's because they clarify what is the most important.
Yeah, no question. I mean, I love that. I mean, you are the king of quotes. I mean, sometimes I think about what you say, the quotes that you read, and that just comes from constantly reading and mind feeding. I struggle with that sometimes of remembering the quotes, but not Listen, I'm more of an auditorial person, learner. I listen to Audible a lot and gain a lot more information listening to it versus reading it. Sometimes I feel like my mind, everything gets loud and gets, things happen and we talk about 20 different things going on. But, I think that I'm, obviously I'm not the only person in this world that deals with that. But you have to stop and recognize what is being loud. What is loud to you to where you can't propel forward and adjust. And so that's what I have to do. I have books, I read them, don't always finish them. That's a downside for me. But what I do is get that same book on Audible and able to listen to it. And then so I have to make the adjustment. And so it helps greatly. It really does. And so I feel like I get way more out of that. And so to your point, a lot of people are done proving things, but they don't know how to say it out loud. Being done proven doesn't mean being done growing. It more means growth looks different to them, not only in their personal life, but also in business.
Absolutely. That's true wisdom. I mean, people, most of our clients, they don't have to prove anything to anybody anymore.
That, that's right.
They're already successful. They've achieved a level of success, but a lot of them are plateaued and they're not sure what the next step is. They
Yeah.
could do a lot of different things. Things they've done in the past may not feel right. Some they might feel they might feel like they're just missing something, and you've got to figure out what it is that you were meant to do. And teaching and coaching, my dad was a coach. I've had a coach since the day I was born. I've said that many times, and
Yeah.
it's true. I just feel like, that's the family business, is coaching and helping people. I love doing it, and you do too. I mean, that's what makes us a great team. You are great at sharing and teaching and helping people. And it's not because we have all the answers, really. It's we know the questions to ask because we've been asked questions that have helped get us through a plateau or a a time when we were stuck. So,
Yeah.
that's
I mean,
yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
No, that's
Um, you bring up a good point, about asking questions because, I say to you at times, or I use the analogy of a doctor. If you go to the doctor because you have an ailment and the ailment is, man, I have a bad twitch in my back and it, feels like a muscle spasm and I'm really sore and this, that, and the other. And you go to your doctor and you say, listen, I'm having this problem. And he's going to start asking you a series of questions. Does it hurt when you walk or run, kneel or stoop, sit or stand? When you're laying in bed, does it hurt on one side or the other? When do you really feel the pain? Is it a throbbing pain? Is it a stretching pain? And at the end of the day, you would look at him crazy if he said, well, here, you need an antibiotic.
right. Well,
Antibiotic's not the answer. The muscle relaxer, a traction, or a TENS unit, or something that's going to take away that pain. And that's no different than what we do or any coach does. They have to know your pain point. They have to know, where you're stuck and what you need help on. And there's nothing wrong with looking for help. There's nothing, you and I are in mastermind groups and we get something from every group. We get something from everybody because I always say if you're the only person in the room or you're the smartest person in the room and you cannot evolve. You cannot grow your business. You cannot grow your relationship if you're in a marriage. If one person made all the decisions, how are you going to grow? It can't happen. And so the communication, the listening, the evolving, the collaboration as what we do in our business, you grow. And that holds true because you and I collaborate so much that our business has grown this year. I mean, because of our vision, our knowledge, our, you and I asking questions to one another.
Yep. And our mastermind partners have helped us with that a lot.
Mm,
Um, and you mentioned Audible. Audible, I love Audible. That's how I almost 6 years ago now, I started re-listening to Think and Grow Rich on Audible because I could do it when I was walking and when I was driving. And
yeah.
that's a great tool and it works wonderful. But it was when I met Bob Proctor and he had studied that book, and I realized, oh my gosh, he studied this book and read sections of this book and studied sections since 1961, the year I was 1 year old. And it's like, okay, what can he teach me that I'm just not seeing in the book? And that's where some of the quotes come from. He pointed out little lines they just went over my head, or and that's what a coach can do. A coach can point to the important things for you to focus on.
Yeah, and I say well, you know what I always say, dyslexia and my OCD, I don't recommend it. I just learned to live with it. And it's challenging at times. Sometimes I just want to throw my hands up. But I have to step back and figure out what's going to be best for me at the end of the day of how I can learn, how I can excel, and how I can be creative. And what something that I have done in the past year and a half is journaling has helped me greatly, and also setting goals for myself. I always thought that was crazy. From 2 years to now, I don't know why I've never done it. And I've never done it in the past. I mean, I had goals and things that I said, but never to the fine tune of, hey, I got to get this done. And that goal setting really turns into a task list, but I take it on as more of a goal role, and because I hold myself to a higher level of accountability that I need to get this done, because the going to only person I'm kidding is myself. And I have people that rely on me, that I have to do better. And so with that being said, it's sometimes you just have to step back and look at it and fix what you need to be fixed. Doesn't mean you're broke, just means you need to look at things differently.
Right. You've got to slow down to speed up. So,
Yes.
if you slow down when you're practicing a play in sports, you don't start out full speed. You
Yeah.
start out slow and you go slow and then you speed up gradually until you can do it. We had this conversation with our mastermind partner too. It's like, are the plays different? Do you need to come up with an
I
advanced
was just getting
playbook?
ready to say that.
Do you need to come up with an advanced playbook? I was like, well, no, not really, because all the plays are the same. There are just only so many play. Yeah, occasionally you get a trick play. You get a trick play that maybe it has a little twist on something, but the reality is you don't succeed by doing certain things. Do you succeed by doing certain things in a certain way.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
it's practice, and practice is what does it. But when you slow down, you can take a look and see what are the things I don't have to do anymore, so that I can concentrate on those one or two fundamental things that will get me to my goal. That's
Sure.
what we want. That's what we want to look at going into the year. What can we eliminate and what can we focus on?
Speaking of going into the new year, some exciting information. We are having a training class, 90-minute training class that you, the listener, are going to be able to attend if you want. It's free, great information. We have it built out, and we're really excited about it. So stay tuned for that, because it's going to be on social media. We're going to be talking about it here in the next week, of really narrowing down a date and what all that looks like. So that's big for us, because we have compiled and gathered so much information and feedback that we get from our clients now that are helpful. And so I really think that this, with us drilling down more on our avatar, I think it's going to help a lot of people that listen.
Yep. We're we have been doing that. You mentioned drilling down on our avatar, who our ideal client is, and it turns out it was you and me.
That's
You
right.
know, it was us. It was people that have been successful. We've been very successful over the course of our career. However, there have been times when we've been stuck. You know, I sold a company and it's like, okay, what do I do now? I
Yeah.
I got to do something, but I don't know what it is. And how do you solve that being stuck or indecision? We're going to work on that a lot, and that because that's something that we've had to work on a lot.
You
And
know, go
yeah,
ahead.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
No, I was just going to add reinvention.
Yeah.
I had to reinvent myself after 30 years of figuring out, it doesn't mean that I was just stuck. I was stuck at a position to where I didn't know what direction to go. I came on a crossroad. I can only go left or I can only go right. What direction was that? And you opened my eyes to that. And so but it didn't take away from everything that I've done or learned or succeeded on or failed at over the course of 30 years. It just helped make this next segment that much better. And so it took someone like you, like Bob, to open my eyes and realize, hey, you can take all that and implement it into the second half of your chapter of business will be that much better. So, that's what we're here to do that's what we do with our students and here to do with you, the listener.
Yeah, it's funny because I look back and everything I've done in the course of my life I can utilize pieces of everything.
Mm,
I went to college. I really went to college to play basketball, but I got an economics degree while I was there. And, I chose to major in economics because you can do anything with it. Yeah.
sure.
What I failed to realize is that you can't really do anything with an
Mm.
economics degree. There is no, well, I guess in Washington, D.C., there might be economists, but I don't think they do anything. Anyway, that's another story. We'll
That's
skip.
another story, right?
But but my first job out of college was as an electrical engineer at a radio station recording commercials and music. I was like, how does that have anything to do with what I went to school for, which was, to be a business owner. I really did have the dream of being a business owner, which is why I majored in economics. And it turns out that learning how to record radio commercials, man, I used that a lot when I owned my tanning salon and we advertised on the radio a lot. So you will be amazed at what you've done in your life and how the things that you've done to make you successful to this point, how you can piggyback on those and expand them and grow even bigger into the next step.
I love it. I mean, it's good stuff. So I would say this as the new year approaches, we're appreciative of you, the listener, that tune in and listen to our podcast, our huddle up. And I would say ask yourself at some point when you have some windshield time in the morning looking at the mirror, ask yourself, when am I done proving what I needed to do? Have I proved to myself what I really needed to do? Ask yourself that question. And if the answer is yes, then what next? What next after that? Um, and I think that is a powerful statement that you need to ask yourself. And if the answer is no, I haven't finished proving everything that I need to do, then what does that look like for you? Ask yourself what next. So, listen, we appreciate you, the listener, as you tune in to each and every episode that we have. Again, from Mark and I, we wish you great success in moving forward into 2026. Again, like, share, leave a comment. We enjoy that, and we will see you next year at Huddle for Success.
Stay huddled up.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Huddle for Success. If you found it helpful and want to support others on their journey, share this podcast, leave us a rating, and drop your thoughts in the comments. We'll see you next week on Huddle for Success. Stay huddled up.